The province of Georgia was one of the southern colonies in British America. It was the last of the 13 original American colonies established by Great Britain in what later became the United States. In the original grant, a narrow strip of the province extended to the Mississippi River. The colony's corporate charter was granted to General James Oglethorpe on April 21, 1732, by George II, for whom the colony was named. The charter was finalized by the King's Privy Council on June 9, 1732. Oglethorpe envisioned a colony which would serve as a haven for debtors. General Oglethorpe imposed very strict laws that many colonists disagreed with, such as the banning of alcohol. Oglethorpe disagreed with slavery and thought a system of small holdings more appropriate than the large plantations common in the colonies to the north. However, land grants were not as large as most colonists would have preferred. Oglethorpe envisioned the province as a location for the resettlement of English debtors and the worthy poor. Another motivation for the founding of the colony was as a buffer state, or garrison province, that would defend the southern part of the British colonies from Spanish Florida. Oglethorpe imagined a province populated by sturdy farmers that could guard the border. Because of this, the colony's charter prohibited slavery. Foundation. Oglethorpe, accompanied by the second settlers, arrived on February 13, 1732, at Jamacraw Bluff, in what is now Savannah, and established a camp with the help of a local elderly Indian chief, Tamoshichi. A Yamacraw Indian village had occupied the site, but Oglethorpe arranged for the Indians to move. The day is still celebrated as Georgia Day. One plan had called for Georgia to be created to be a safe home for debtors. However, this purpose was never fulfilled and 240 men, women, and children were selected to become the original colonists. The original charter specified the colony as being between the Savannah and Altamaha rivers, up to their headwaters, and then extending westward, sea to sea. The area within the charter had previously been part of the original grant of the province of Carolina, which was closely linked to Georgia development. The Privy Council approved the establishment charter on June 9, 1732, and for the next 2 decades the Council of Trustees governed the province, with the aid of annual subsidies from Parliament. However, after many difficulties and the departure of Oglethorpe, the trustees proved unable to manage the proprietary colony, and on June 23, 1752, they submitted a deed of reconveyance to the Crown, 1 year before the expiration of the charter. On January 7, 1755, Georgia officially ceased to be a proprietary colony and became a Crown colony. From 1732 until 1758, the minor civil divisions were districts and towns. In 1758, the province of Georgia was divided into 8 parishes, and another 4 parishes were partitioned in 1765. In 1777, the original 8 counties of the state of Georgia were created. In practice, settlement in the colony was limited to the near vicinity of the Savannah River. The western area of the colony remained under the control of the Creek Indian Confederation until after the American Revolutionary War. In the beginning, the colony had a sluggish start. James Oglethorpe did not allow liquor, and colonists who came at the trustees' expense were not allowed to own more than 50 acres of land for their farm in addition to a 60-foot by 90-foot plot in town. Those who paid their own way could bring 10 indentured servants and would receive 500 acres of land. Additional land could neither be acquired nor sold. Discontent grew in the colony because of these restrictions, and so Oglethorpe lifted him. With slavery, liquor, and land acquisition, the colony improved much faster. Slavery had been permitted from 1749. There was some internal opposition, particularly from Scottish settlers, but by the time of the War of Independence, Georgia was much like the rest of the South. On April 24, 1802, Georgia ceded to Congress parts of its western territories. These became the Mississippi Territory and later the states of Alabama and Mississippi.